you for having me in your show.
Well, some impressive 2026 full year results numbers. Just walk us through some of the key highlights and what were some of the key drivers.
Starting with Kenya, we are extremely happy with the sustained momentum in Kenya business. Top line grew double digit. This is the third year in a row that we delivered top line double digit growth. And I also mentioned about this year's double digit growth is also the highest ever absolute growth that we've ever seen. Within the top line, I think the quality of growth is important. If you look at the profile of the growth, we have grown 6.9% in connectivity business, pretty much in line with what we said before that we want to grow high single digit in connectivity. Fueled by mobile data, which has grown 14.4%. M-PESA continued to grow double digit, grew 13.4% with an expanded ecosystem. We still continue to grow values and volumes. Ecosystem is growing, newer services are coming in. So that's the M-PESA. And the third one is the fixed, still a small contributor to the overall business, but it's a growth segment. We're investing, we are acquiring more customers, and then we see the growth coming in. It's 12.2% growth. But at the back of it is all the customers. I think I mentioned about it. This is the year where we have the highest growth in customers, which kind of reveals the customers' confidence in us. With the 25-year celebration, we have seen momentum across all business segments. And now the quality of earnings, if you now go down further, we have a very efficient cost program that works through this. You have seen the contribution margin improving, leading to a double-digit growth in EBITDA, EBIT, and then of course net income for Kenya grew 24.7%, one of the highest that we have delivered in recent times. Of course, we got benefited from lower debt levels in Kenya and also the lower interest rates because of the macroeconomic changes that has happened. If you recall last year, interest rates were very high. So that's Kenya. Good quality top line growth driven by customers and all KPIs in line with our strategy, and good quality earnings coming from a very disciplined execution. Ethiopia, startup phase, and then our main focus here is to grow our customers. And you've seen that now 19-day customers starts 13.6 million, and we are growing customers across all voice, mobile data. They're showing up in revenue. These revenue growths are not double digit, they're doubling, more than doubling year over year. Of course on a small base, but they're growing pretty fast. And then mobile data, on the mobile money, which is M-PESA, we are growing customers, doubling customers, but not necessarily revenue. Revenue is still small because we are in a very early stage of experimenting and giving out promotions to the customers. From the earnings side, from the financial side of Ethiopia, I spoke about top line, more than doubling. What is giving us satisfaction in terms of execution of our strategies on the reduced losses. We've seen that one of our key focus areas on the EBITDA breakeven in FY2027, and the way I unpack the number is how do you see the EBITDA, full year EBITDA of 15 billion loss? It's like 12.5 billion loss in H1 and 2.7 billion loss in H2. So that gives you the trajectory that the losses are coming down, not only year over year. Actually, losses are coming down year over year by it's half, but also on a half year one to half year two. And that's flowing in the net income as well. And that leads to the whole story around how this now shapes up in the way the group numbers are showing up. Strong momentum on the customers. We are now in two countries operation, close to 72 million customers, combining Kenya and Ethiopia. Very strong growth on top line, 11.1% growth, and leading to a significant growth in the net income. And that's what is leading to I think, highest ever dividend that Safaricom PLC has ever declared. Of course, this is subject to the board approval, the final dividend, which is 1.15. We paid out 85 cents in the interim dividend, and that's how it shows up. I think the summary, if I summarize this, it's coming from a very disciplined execution in both the markets of our strategy. And this is as we I think we mentioned it before, this is the first year of the 5-year strategy board is approved.
I was in Addis in April, and quite a lot of work going down there, from construction to, I managed to pass by the office. I didn't get a chance to go in, but you can clearly tell that there seems to be some good buzz around Safaricom Ethiopia, and right now you turn the corner. I'd like to know what will be defining the profitability path going forward in that market, considering also competition is quite cutthroat with Ethiopia Telco.
Yeah. When we entered Ethiopia market, there was a lot of, there are questions around that, why are you entering a market which is not necessarily everybody's favorite, yeah?
Exactly.
So, if you think about what was at the point when we entered, we got the license in May, June 2021. So almost 5 years now we got the license, but of course we are operating now about 3.5 years commercial operation.
Yeah.
A lot have changed, and in the positive direction. So I think some of these are the macro changes probably you see. Construction probably is one example, but I think there are many other areas. And it's not by chance that Ethiopia is one of the fastest growing market in terms of GDP. Last year Ethiopia is reporting 9.2% growth. Actually double the growth of Kenya, if you think about that way. Yeah. So your observation is right. Now for us, I think how we see is all about what the strategy we have, what's the medium-term outlook that we are committing ourselves, that we've spoken to our stakeholders, investors, and analyst community. For Ethiopia, we said that we are in a greenfield operation. This is one of the biggest greenfield which has happened, I don't know for how many years. The last greenfield was probably in Myanmar. For a large country of this size of population, you won't hear about a greenfield operation. You'll hear about one company, one telecom buying another company, but not necessarily building a new infrastructure from scratch. So we were in a phase of rolling out, and therefore the building scale. So in terms of a medium-term outlook, that we said that we want to scale this business. Yeah. So we are scaling up this, and that we're talking about 15-20 million customers. To your questions, we are on that trajectory. We have closed 13.6 million. Very soon we will reach 15 million, not far away. We said we want around 4,000 base stations when we build, we will be scale business. We are about now 3,500 base stations, not far away from 4,000. We said that we're committing, the other question that we have in terms of profitability, we have reconfirmed today of our FY2027 break-even, EBITDA break-even milestone. Yeah, that we have reconfirmed today. And that coming also, as I told you the number, I think the directionally it's showing more confidence around that we can actually break even on that side.
And moving things forward as we get into the next area of focus, we've seen Ethiopia has had quite a number of challenges from a currency devaluation standpoint. And how has this also, in one or the other, impacted on the books? And are you concerned about the currency stability?
So currency is one of the biggest macroeconomic KPI that we have been monitoring. And as I mentioned, actually currency, when we entered the currency, we had a big difference between which the official rates were and what actually the market rate was. So big, they call the currency recompleted that in FY25. Post that actually, what they call the full convertibility. So the ETB depreciated by more than 100%. This financial year, the last financial year, FY26, we have seen more stability in the currency for the second half of the year. Although I think it was, I would say, ETB to dollar, but ETB to euro, actually, that was more of a global phenomenon. It was not Ethiopia alone, it was also in Kenya. I think globally, euro strengthened against dollar, and that was showing up. So this is one area we monitor very, very closely, and becomes one important part of watch out, we can say. The confidence that we have is, I think, from the governments, what they call the reforms. I think the currency is one of the big part of the reforms that delivered. So, at least from what we see now is much better than what we have seen in the past. So, trajectory is positive, but of course, this is one thing we cannot predict what the future will be, but it has been more stable in the recent times than it was.
And finally, last word in terms of 25 years down the line, the company is still strong, growing. Any prospects of tapping into Mozambique?
For us, I think the way at Kenya, when we started one of our strategic pillar was geographical expansion. I think as part of geographical expansion, we went to Ethiopia. I think the capital allocation becomes part of a bigger strategy of whether you can go beyond what we have done now. I think Ethiopia, we need to first deliver and execute. 25 is a long period of time. Things, definitely you cannot predict what could happen. But we always look for opportunities whether we can expand. But right now, I think our focus is to build the business in Ethiopia.